talk to Claudian.
Abyssos, I've made a breakthrough. After uncomfortable days and nights, I've finally hearkened to the crystal's whispers, and I must say, Professor Claudian, where are your manners? While I understand all too well your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recounting of events. Yes, I apologize. Being consumed by my research for so long, I'm afraid I have quite forgotten how to engage in civilized conversations. In that case, perhaps we should start from the beginning, with a crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides, containing the memories of a party yet unknown. We cried out for deliverance from Pandaemonium, where the ancients kept volatile creations under lock and key. You yourself witnessed the power devouring the facility from within, and the advent of a divine monstrosity, wrought of mythic beast and powerful mage. Fortunately, your martial prowess and the combined magical talents of your companions, Timus and Erectonios, was sufficient to restore order to the circles of Asphodelos, but the greater threat remains. The depths of Pandaemonium, a presence yet steers, its intentions and identity shrouded in mystery. That is the issue at hand, is it not? Since you returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, I detected an anomalous etheric signature, which I believe arose from the memories stored within. Analysis of this pattern suggested a feeling of loss or yearning, specifically the yearning to be made whole. And indeed, ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. This can only mean yet another such crystal exists in our time. So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith. By tracing the matching etheric signature to its source, I believe it will be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. Professor, will this expedition be carried out only by us, or will Patios grace us with her protection? I'm afraid she has more pressing matters to attend. My dear Rusno, namely to seek out the secret which lie nested within Pandaemonium, where this all begun. From all that we have heard, it appears that time travel reversal from the Crystal Tower is not fluid. That is to say, one can but travel in predetermined intervals. It would be prudent to check in on occasion, in case there are any unanticipated changes. As for you, my loyal servants, assistants, I would ask you to remain here and continue cataloging the ancient creations. You can't mean, do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Why yes, that would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I have already commissioned a ship and pilot for that very purpose. I trust you take good care of the laboratory in my absence. I apologize for that somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudian tends to become blind to all else. Indeed, and he has been worse than usual. While I cannot fault him for his excitement, I do wish he would spare thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystal seems to loathe to be overheard, much as it spoke only to you last time. Now but the professor has been able to capture its ethereal yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve this puzzle on his own. Surely, after some time alone, he'll come to remember how valuable we are. The search for this crystal seemed to be simple enough matter. Let him have his adventure. And upon his return, I'm certain he'll be back to normal. As for you, it may be best to return to Pandaemonium, as Professor Claudian suggested. Speaking of which, I did have a request of my own to make. Traveling to Pandaemonium requires you to pass through Abyssos, correct? There's something I would have you investigate in my stead. While those creations confined to Pandaemonium are considered to be failures, I doubt that it's their whole story. Barring exceptional cases, they must have been under observation in Abyssos before being consigned to their shackles. And if we know anything about the ancients, it's that they would have kept thorough records of the results. Brilliant. Delving into these records may shed light on the creatures as yet to encounter, if your theory proves correct, that is. While there are no guarantees, it certainly beats the current strategy of rushing forward blindly, with only your strength to carry the day, for your own sake, as well as ours. Please unearth what information you can't find. Archivist. Alright. Let's go there then. Let's talk to the archivist, yes. You seek records of Pandaemonium's creations. Master Timus has just finished pursuing the very same. You should not be surprised. We both arrived at the same conclusion. Luckily, I have saved you the trouble. Glean what information I could. So you know each other. I was dreading having to once again scour their archives. Perhaps instead I'll rest for a spell. If there's something else, I shall take my leave. As should we, for have undone the warding sigil blocking the entrance to Abyssos. I came here merely to chase an idle suspicion while awaiting your return. Unfortunately, Pandaemonium's protective wards continue to be assailed by our unknown foe. There have been no fluctuations so great as to make me doubt Erectonio's capacity to keep watch over Asphodelos while I'm away. He works diligently to master interment, that he might deliver the creations back to their cages by his own hands. I thought it best to give him the hone to create his craft. And since fate has brought us together, I would ask you to accompany me. I will attend to another matter, more idle suspicions that I would like to chase down. Rest assured, it will not take long. I simply have a few questions to ask an acquaintance of mine. Come, he has agreed to meet us near the Nice to Pandaemonium. Okay. Let's talk to Timus then. Is that part of your expedition? Would it be good or ill? Sparrows and Erectonios, two sides of the same coin. The farmer looked at his mentor with absolute devotion, but the latter looks to his father with bald hatred. I would not expect a familiar such as you to understand this. But such extreme emotions toward a single individual are quite rare indeed. Naturally, I feel gratitude toward him, yet we are equals in large bigger picture of the star. This view is not unique to myself. It is more or less accepted as the ways of things. By contrast, the researchers in Pandaemonium seem to view Lahabrea with a feeling of approaching obsession. Whether driven by love or hate, they all have been drawn to him. There were many other aspects of the facility's particulars I found troubling. I decided best course of action would be to go straight to the source and pose my questions to a member of the wards of Lahabrea. My apologies that I kept you waiting, Master Themis. I understand you are conducting an investigation of Pandaemonium and wish to know of its origins. Indeed, in particular I wish to know why exactly Pandaemonium was built directly under Elpis. The facility is overseen by the wards of Lahabrea, after all. Why keep it so close to Elpis, whose governing body has no say in its day-to-day operations? First I thought it had to be simply a matter of convenience. Those creations which were deemed failures by the researchers in Abyssos could easily be ushered into their new home. Imagine my surprise when the trip to the archives revealed that many of the creations were sent from organizations beyond Elpis, including from the wards of Lahabrea themselves. Given this albeit limited information, I cannot but feel that Academia and Aether would have been more fitting location. What does Elpis have that cannot be found there? Well, these are fitting questions, and one we have asked ourselves many times in recent years. Alas, the nature of Pandaemonium's construction does not lend itself to relocation. When first it was built, circumstances weren't as they are now. As you surmised, the majority of the creations kept within Pandaemonium were sent from Elpis. Yet as the years passed, interests changed. Failures and creations deemed too flawed even to submit to Elpis paradoxically drew the attention of Pandaemonium's researchers. That is quite the change, in fact. It almost runs counter to the facility's original purpose. Who is it that devises which creations will be subject to research? Master Lahabrea. Such authority is reserved to the chief keyword, and he has taken it upon himself to step into that role. So if Pandaemonium's resources were being misused, he would be under Lahabrea's authority, correct? I know not what you suggested, but the keywords also hold some sway within the facility. Not even Master Lahabrea could be free from their scrutiny. They are duty bound to report any irregularities as soon as possible. Although I admit it, as of late their communication has been somewhat sporadic. We but recently received a report from one of the keywords stating that all is well within Pandaemonium's halls. Really? Are you certain that keyword sent it? Yes, of course. Our communications suffered a temporary obstructions. I can assure you, the words did their due diligence in confirming the identity of the sender. Thank you. This information will be helpful to my investigation. That will be all for my prying. I shall take my leave. While you are yet permitted to conduct your investigation freely, I must remind you that the warder's work is delicate. It would be a remiss to disturb them for longer than is necessary. All is well. I played a lie, and to that we can both attest. One of the remaining keywords is most certainly in league with the party behind this. Let us hurry. I know not why our adversary sent that report, but it is plain that we must return to Pandaemonium with haste. cannot guess as to why this false report has arisen now, but it certainly bodes ill, as does knowledge that our mysterious mastermind has at least one more keyword to puppet. Regardless, they have tipped their hand, and we would be remiss to leave Erectorios at the mercy of their machinations. Let us hope no harm has befallen him. Quite. I've traced these sigils countless times, yet I still lack the strength to maintain the spell. And now time works against me. I can no longer be victim to my own inadaptitude. What goes on there? There's something he admired in such single-minded efforts. Even if your methods leaves much to be desired. You allowed this familiar to catch you unawares. Have you set your sights so high as to forget you walk upon the earth? I know this creature, familiar of the Phoenix, but that monster is locked away. That it is. In spite of the trouble I went into freeing it. I might add, begrudge me for addressing you in this ill-fitting form if you must. With control of Asphodelos wrested from my grasp, it is simply the best I can offer you. Hide, if you will, but mark my words, I will find you and make you pay for the chaos you've sown. Now, there's no need for such hostility. A calm heart stays the course, the wisdom of Lahabrea, your father. And how would you know that wisdom that he speaks? I have heard those words many times, the scolding of a tutor whose students struggle to grasp the most rudimentary lessons, seething with disgust. No. I've not told that to anyone, not even keyword Hesperos. That can only mean one thing. But still you insist on mocking me. Stop this farce, Lahabrea. At last, you move to keep up. Pity that you remain behind, nevertheless. What? As ever you are, always you fail to learn, fail to understand, fail to act. And though fate deigned to offer an escape, you remain here, your bereft of magical prowess and common sense both. But you need not despair. Dull though you may be, you are yet indispensable to Pandaemonium's great experiment. There's the affection I remember. Tell me, did I ever once measure up to your expectation? You shall take pride in that and rejoice to see your wish fulfilled. What wish? Come, and all shall be revealed. A little disraged, this hatred is but a consequence of ignorance. Our desires align more than you know. What are you? Uninvited guest to join our reunion, it seems. Fortune no longer favors you. Do you think I have any interest in listening to your parrot? Let alone bowing to your will? I am no longer a child, and my fight lies with those who have earned it. So these are the heroes who brought Abyssos low, even as power divine flowed through his veins. Displaying there are worthier subjects to contend with. Thank you. If you had not shown up even on the Lemon mailer, I shudder to think what would have become of me. There's something I must tell you. I know who's behind this. There is but one person who can hold trall over familiar creation and keyword alike. Masks of the Father. So there can be no one choral conclusion. Lahabrea was the driving force behind this chaos from the start. There's logic to that. There are few with wherewithal to even consider experimentation on such a scale, let alone the capacity to create demigods from man and beast, with the rest of us none the wiser. Considering the magnitude of his work with the convocation and the words, his relatively minor role as chief keyword comes under little scrutiny, even as it provides him the authority to wield dangerous magics. It may serve as veil and mantle both. Still, I find the notion hard to accept. The misdeeds perpetrated here could not have been done by the Lahabrea, I know. You have met him, yes? Do you think he is capable of this? Lahabrea is capable of far more than you know. Is he? So you believe Lahabrea to be a man of few scruples, if it brings his goal closer in his reach? That alone should be enough, but let me assure you, Lahabrea holds nothing so dear as his own ambition. While he may not be the one to let emotion stand in the way of his mission, I cannot believe there are no depths to which he would not stoop. Although we may but briefly, the impression he left on me stands in stark contrast to your evaluation. Though his methods are ever unorthodox, they seem guided by firm understanding of what is just. There's one way to find out for certain. We delve deeper into Pandaemonium and pull back the curtain on this mystery. A wise course. I would not deny the truth if I saw it with my own eyes, even if it was discomfiting to behold. Then we must move forward with no excess of caution. Lahabrea, or whoever it is behind us, has likely spread their tentacles into every corner of Pandaemonium. We can safely assume the other keywords won't greet us with open arms. Agreed. Let us make our way through. Abyssos. One careful step at a time. I shall stay by Erictonios, in case our enemies think to target him. Could I trouble you to take the vanguard? Don't worry, I can do this. Thank you. As precaution, I shall safeguard you with a simple spell. This will ensure that even should we become separated, my phantom warriors will still come to your aid. If it does come to battle, the keyword's magics will put us at a disadvantage. Once again, luckily we have you to even the scales. I trust you shall be liberal with your weight. Abyssos, the fifth circle, now accessible. What's the item level? No, that's the first circle. That's, where the heck is it? Enter Abyssos, the fifth circle. Oh, it's probably under high and dirty, right? Fifth circle, there it is. Item level is 585. Okay, I should be good then. What's my item level? 588? I should be good for Abyssos. I still need a lot better gear though. Let's queue up for the fifth circle of Abyssos. I'll see you guys later, Tamis and Erictonios. I'll see you both of you guys later. Commence. Let's do this shit. My gear's repaired, right? Yeah, okay, let's go. Ship couldn't teleport it. Okay, this looks kind of metal. This is metal, pretty metal. Yes, I love this. Oh, the music. The music. The music is pretty dope. This is pretty cool. What the fuck was that? Was he on that side and the other guys are not on that side? Topaz stones.
Tell me how. Oh, shit. What's it doing? Shit. Thank you. Fuck. Okay, well that just wiped us. Holy crap. Has to be a trick to dodging that easier. Big stomp literally wiped us. Shit, okay, we might save this. Oh, what the fuck? Come on. Trying to go into this blind is a pain in the butt, that's for sure. That's how you dodge it. Okay, I see. Oh, fuck. Fuck. There's too many of us in the same spot there. Whew. Well, this was an interesting fight. Once you learn how the cells work, everything works out a lot better. Once you learn how the cells mechanic work. Once you figure out how the crystal detonation thing and the cells work, everything's a lot easier. Connection server was lost. What the fuck? So I got disconnected, and then after the moment the battle ended, I hope it still counted my clear. Or else I'm gonna have to redo that fight again. At least I know how it works. This is where research is conducted on creations imbued with poisons and venoms. Erectonios and I were conveyed not far from here. It seems our foe is finding it more difficult to surprise us. Fortunately for you, since they appear particularly keen to see you dispatched as quickly as possible. Even alone, you are a force to be reckoned with. Part of me is glad you emerged victorious, that I might absorb you further. Where the circumstance is different, I might thank you for keeping my son alive for this long. But I believe we can forego introductions unless I have misread you. Lahabrea? Possibly perceptive, yes. I am Lahabrea, of the Convocation of the 14. If you truly are who you claim to be, then answer this question. That can wait. What is this? Now this is curious. The trap I wove at your feet reacts to Aether, but you remain unaffected. Such thin Aether and in an unfamiliar composition. Besides, it is of no matter. I suppose a more direct approach will beget the same result. I would advise you to think of carefully before deciding your next action. Strike me down here, and Erectonius' wish shall remain unfulfilled. Never again shall he meet Athena. Mother, you dare hide behind her name. Listen well, Erectonius. We are of the same mind concerning your mother. You have your allies for protection, so what harm is there in hearing me out? Erectonius, wait. There's a question I must needs ask first. If you truly are Lahabrea, why speak such blatant lies? Bitter in defeat, are we? Say my name. A simple request. Timus, was it? A trifle soon forgotten, as you are. As are you. You should know who he is. I have my answer. The Lahabrea I knew took pride in the Convocation. It would never suffer its denigration. You sully his station with this farce. Timus, what are you saying? Lahabrea and I are hardly saw eye to eye, but I know his voice when I hear it. Indeed, he makes a passing fine imitation in appearance and manner. However, the real Lahabrea would never call me by my name, Timus. Oh, that must be the real one. What trouble have you gotten yourself into, Elidibus? Imposter, you have no right to claim that form, that mask. What? Who? It was a mask that sickened me to wear. The mask of Lahabrea, a man who values his position above all, who would murder his own wife in pursuit of duty. Yet you would assume my name wield powers that are mine by right. Any worth you may have hinges on that which you'd so despise. Despite provocations, I will not be goaded into finishing this ere my work is done. Erictonos, listen well. Hephaestus, okay. I am Hephaestus. It is I whom you should call Father. What in the name of creation? We would do well to not stand idle while our enemy is about. I believe an explanation is in order. Elidibus, let us return to safety, so you may provide it. Ah, that sounds more like the Lahabrea I know. Before we depart, however, I must offer you an apology. As Lahabrea said, I am Elidibus, one of the Convocation, and the emissary of their will. For reasons which do not involve you, it was necessary to hide my identity while investigating this place. Still, that hardly excuses my deception. I had a feeling. Your perceptiveness does not surprise me. When the time comes, it shall make my explanation all the easier to understand. In any case, we have pressing matters to attend to. Let us do as Lahabrea suggested. Return to the gates. We can speak there. So, Themis is actually Elidibus. That's good to know. Please help him. Save him. Let's talk to Themis. As you are aware by now, I am known as Elidibus. After my dear friend Azem and I detected irregularities in the Pandaemonium, we decided the best course of action would be to hide my station as I conducted my investigation. I am sure Lahabrea as well is eager to find out why I hid who I was. So as such, save that story for later. First, I would like to speak of you, my friend. Although neither Azem and I, nor I have ever met you in the flesh, it came of her highest recommendation that alone was enough for me to accept you as an ally without question. That somewhere in the world, a guiding star so similar to herself was out there, amused Azem to no end. The There was not a shade of doubt in her heart that you would be a formidable ally. Furthermore, I have heard stories that Mistress Venat, who held the position of Azam previously, journeyed with a familiar much like yourself, that made a decision to trust you all the easier. She too now dons the white robes of an advisor. If she placed her absolute faith in you, I knew I would be in capable hands. Weirdo, I was of the path you had walked. I had no interest in exposing you. I merely wanted to meet you, to travel by your side for a while. I may know but a small portion of your whole story, but that is enough for me to believe you would never lead me astray. I wanted to tell you that. Determination. I don't know how long it's been since we spoke, Lahabrea. In truth be told, I had hoped we never would meet again. But I see now that I was a fool to think I would ever escape your meddling. Just what is it that thing that they call himself Lahabrea? And why is he the spitting image of your younger self? I find it hard to believe you've only just now found out such a being was wreaking havoc in Pandaemonium. Do you think matters would simply sort themselves out? I suppose you deserve at least a cursory explanation. I was well aware of the anomalies occurring within Pandaemonium, including the fact that Azam and Elidibus had taken it upon themselves to investigate. I saw no reason to insert myself into the situation. For a time, that was. Mage had my surprise when instead of a formal report from you and yours, I received a communication from one of the keywords stating that research and operations were proceeding as usual. While Hephaestus' deception was almost childless in its simplicity, it became plain to me that your grasp on the situation was slipping. So you knew of his existence from the beginning. I can hardly imagine that you would suffer another masquerade as one of the convocation, not without good reason at least. As you well know, the name Lahabrea is but a marker of my station. It is not the name I was born with. Hephaestus has claimed that for himself. I cannot fault him for it, as he is my other half in the matter of speaking. He knows all that I know, my equal in every way, yet within his heart is not but greed, envy, and desire, all the emotions that we are loath to acknowledge within ourselves. If what you say is true, what purpose would such a being serve? He is the product of experimentation god Are, a reminder of the days when I was yet young and reckless. I taught him seal the way for good, but it seems time has a way of unearthing this shame we bury. When he spoke of my mother, he looked at you with venom in his eyes, blamed you for his death. Tell me, was he right to do so? His words are but the ramblings of a tortured mind. The hatred and despair he endures has warped his view of the world irreparably. And now he has awakened. He must be put to rest. If he succeeds in breaching Pandaemonium's protective wards, he shall invite disaster into our star. As chief keyword of Pandaemonium, it is my duty to decide the proper course of action. As such, I declare that all research shall be summarily abandoned and the facility destroyed. What? You would leave other warders to their doom? This is a choice befitting Lahabrea. Do you disagree? You speak of duty, and ours is to guide our star and its inhabitants upon the correct course. It is no surprise that you would choose annihilation of Pandaemonium, if its existence pose even the remotest risk to our people. Yet, as you can see by Rictonius' response, the decision is somewhat more nuanced than that. Sam and I grappled with this conundrum for some time, in fact. That is precisely why I chose to involve myself directly. It was the only way I could truly determine the best solution. And you need not trouble yourself with that further. The chief keyword must prevent the worst from occurring, no matter the cost. Your feelings, Elidibus, are of no consequences. Have you taken a moment to consider another path, no? You spared nary a thought for aught but yourself and your duty. You have no idea of the trials we've endured, the foes that Abyssos stood against. Abyssos, is it? Being of such Aether as I have never seen. What are you? She's the guiding star that shall lead us safely through this. Thanks to her stout arm and steadfast courage, we have subdued the mythic creations and returned them to their cells. Speaking of which, I would hear your opinion. As an outsider, we are in a unique position to look upon circumstances, with our vision unclouded by attachment. Lahabrea can't be trusted. It's too soon to give up on saving the others. What was it that you said about being an emissary? What is it that you said about being an emissary? That's brilliant. Elidibus, the emissary, may speak on our behalf. Should he judge our approach to more sound, even Lahabrea would be compelled to listen. As Elidibus, I am duty-bound to assess the matter from a position of impartiality. My opinion as Themis can carry no weight. You understand what that means, yes? I do. Even so, you've walked with us all this time, seen what we've seen based on that alone. I trust you'll find the best way forward. Very well. Then in my capacity as emissary, I shall state my judgment. At present, there are merits both in destroying Pandaemonium outright and in taking time to rescue its researchers. And neither is yet an impossible task. Therefore, I judge that most measured choice would be to continue upon our present course. Delve into Abyssos, entering any mythic creations we encounter along the way. You have yet to witness Abyssos' might and Rictonius' resolve. I would ask that you see our capabilities firsthand, and only then decide if our endeavor is futile. If such is the will of the emissary, then I shall obey. However, if indeed I find your strength to be lacking, I trust there will be no objections to the immediate destruction of the Pandaemonium. You need to worry about that. We won't fail. You are bolder than I remember. And you're even more tedious than I remember. Abyssos, come. Find me when you're finished. Erictonius is understandably frustrated, but we are to conquer Abyssos. We must go forth with clear heads, prelend an ear to his troubles, that their way might be lightened. Calm down, Erictonius. Everything's gonna be fine. You do have my gratitude, ill-fit as I am to show it at the moment. Without your words to sway him, Lahabrea would have carried out his plan without a second thought. When at first we realized the creation has slipped into their bonds, the other keywords did all their power to restore order. Even though they could have chosen escape, they remained aid to their allies. I'm certain not a soul among them would wish to see this facility erased from the world, and they don't deserve to be abandoned simply for carrying out their duty. And besides, Abyssos has secrets yet untold, secrets that would be buried if Pandaemonium were reduced to rubble. I mean to uncover the truth behind his words, the truth of my mother. While Lahabrea was quick to dismiss his claims, I failed to see what Abyssos would change by fabricating such a story. All I was told of my mother's death was that she perished by an accident. No one would say more. It was almost as if they feared saying more, in fact. Even if it was not Lahabrea that dealt the fatal blow, we've seen with our own eyes how quickly he can condemn others to die. I only wish to know at least what befell her. What do you think? Does Lahabrea know? Have any regard for the lives of others? Or will he carry out his duty with another's blood on his hand? I have no idea what he might be like in this age, though. He was different in my age. This age, just how long has it been since last you met? Regardless, I'd like you to try and view him as he is now. Their opinion would be much appreciated. But it's plain there is much to consider. Thank you. It's easy for me to get carried away by emotion where he's concerned. We should focus on the task at hand, proving to Lahabrea that we are capable of saving Pandaemonium and its keepers. The most convincing way to do that would be to regain control of Abyssos. Although I'm loath to admit it, we would know more about those depths than any of us, and seeing as how he would require every advantage we can afford. Would you speak to him for us? He seems to have a special interest in your capabilities, and may deign to help at your suggestion, if only to see what you can do. I'm going to talk to Lahabrea then. Where's Elidibus? Oh yeah, Elidibus is over there, that's right. Erictonius appears to have deep trust in you, and Elidibus tells me you share some relation to Azam. Your unusual Aether does not mark you as a familiar. It is unlike anything I have seen, even among the countless concepts I have observed. To think that I would encounter an existence I could not create by my own hand. Asm never ceases to surprise. The previous Asm was much of the same, and taking the entirety of the star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions in people that a more logical mind would have discarded. This made her act in her own self-interest more than often than not. Just as you, Elidibus, have conducted yourselves in this matter, the true danger of Asm's nature is its tendency to infect all those she comes into contact with. Emetsauk said much the same. Trust that I shall do naught would violate my duty. And yet you so frivolously invoked your authority as emissary to justify this little excursion. It matters little. However, only your deeds can speak for you now. You wish to know more about Abyssos, I take it. Although no longer have control over many of its functions, I can yet sense what creations lie within. The chief keyword's reach is far indeed. Well then, what do we have to look forward to? I sense no creations of note. Perhaps they have been made into fodder for experimentation, or perhaps they have been transferred into the deeper circles. Yet Hephaestus would never allow you safe passage. He has left a trial for you to overcome. I speak of hegemony, keyword of Abyssos. Although her presence is stained with marks of corruption, it is unmistakable. I knew her as a woman gifted in magic and blessed with highly logical mind. While I can sense those qualities, there's still something else at work. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that's because she's been already twisted into Hemateos, doubtless against her will. Adios. Temis, we must rescue her from that cruel fate. And if we cannot, we can at least seal her until we find a means to undo the damage. Your allies make you bold, Erectonios. I very much look forward to seeing how far they carry you. Come on, we got Elidibus, we got Erectonios, we got me. We can do this, Lahabrea. Me, Elidibus, and Erectonios. We're gonna do this. Lahabrea, you just gotta believe in us. Believe. Believe it. Shit, wait. Let's eat that one, I guess. I'm gonna use it once I get in the dungeon. Abyssos, the sixth circle. does that do? Control the fuck. Well, this boss is a lot easier to figure out than the other one. Whew, duty complete. We got it. Recommendation. Let's come in wherever. Which one did I get last time? I don't remember. Let's get ring again.
We've won. The keyword is sealed away and alive this time. Lahabrea can't deny us now. Our plan was a success, although I hardly need to tell you that. Hegemony has been sealed away, and now you have no choice but to admit the merit of our methods.
You have the right of it. I am not so petty as to deny the achievements of those I've squabbled with, no matter how strongly we disagree. Moreover, this being, Aether as thin as retreating mist, unable to wield creation magics, yet powerful enough to subdue a Hemitheos, has made this ordeal far more interesting. Then we have leave to continue. As for that, there is one among you whose very presence puts the others at risk. It would be best to proceed without him, for failure would have consequences that reach far beyond Pandaemonium. And to whom do you speak? A warder who cannot even conduct his duty without aid. In this place, hope alone is not enough to overcome what awaits you. A single misstep will send it all to their doom. So long as we got each other to do our part and look to the allies by our side, even a neophyte cannot praise his companion. That's something that Padios and Themis taught me. While I do not wish to express any bias, I am inclined to agree. If my investigation has made anything clear, it is that we are together greater than the sum of our parts. And hope has brought us this far. It drives us to seek the right path and to act before that path lies close to us. Then tell me, what is it you hope for? To see Hephaestus in chains. That's the surest way to prevent further sacrifices. I'm aware that destroying Pandaemonium would rid us of him, but that cost is far too great. And I admit, I wish to know how he means to resurrect Athena. And there you have it. You must leave this place at once, and do not think to set foot in Pandaemonium again. You are capable, that much is plain, yet Hephaestus cannot be suffered to live. I shall not allow his talk of resurrection to poison mine or anyone else's mind. Life flows in a cycle. This is known. All souls return to the underworld, and Athena is no exception. She has likely found a new vessel and a new journey to embark on. You cannot be ignorant to the folly of Hephaestus' words. Even were he to breathe life into a body, the soul contained within would not be your mother's. What if our knowledge is imperfect? What if Hephaestus has discovered something that no one else has? He knows all that you do, understands the bitter reality of the world. He wouldn't pursue the impossible. Think, Erectonios. I already explained that he is merely my twisted reflection. Is it worth bringing back your mother if it means others are used and discarded like tools? Is it worth it to see her once more? Now you measure the worth of your colleagues' lives. But was that foolish, braying about saving them merely a performance to hide your childless devotion? Please, such bars will get us nowheres. We should first discuss. You would call me fool? You who murdered your wife in service of your ambition for the sake of the star, no doubt? I can hear it again, that voice inside my head. I know who to follow. Hephaestus, father. Mother, this voice will guide me to you. No, listen. No. Listen not, Erectonios. Apologies, you taught me that calm heart stays the course, but I could never even grasp the rudder. Are we gonna have to fight Erectonios again? Well, next time on Final Fantasy XIV Online, we're gonna go venture more into Abyssos and see where it takes us. Because things are getting crazy, that's for sure. So see you guys next time in FF14 Online. In the Abyssos of Pandaemonium.